Morning people. Well, we've got some good news to start the day. I'll talk about that in a minute. We've also got our first day of our hosepipe ban. In the West Midlands. What else we got? Oh, a little bit of foreign news. Yeah, haven't done that for a while. And the regulars, the shit shower and power and what have you, so watch on. Morning folks. Well, today a little bit of good news just for once. The missing student at Awami Davis has been found safe and well. I haven't seen too much details. They're not giving too much away. The only thing I can get from it is that she was found in Hampshire, which is quite away from her home, obviously. Obviously, if I find out more or more is released, yeah, I will bring that to you in a future video. But now the bad news. There's always some, and most of it's bad news these days in this country. We've had record numbers of the old channel paddlers, as I call them, coming across. With just 5 shy of 1,300 on Monday, which was a record number. And this is in despite of the government, Patel in particular, saying they're going to put a stop to it. Well, we haven't seen that, and I don't think we will. But now connected to that, yesterday we had a visit. It was an arranged visit by 2 officers from the NCA. Now, for those that don't know, that's the National Crime Agency. Don't worry, they're not investigating us. We're not in trouble. Apparently, they were investigating something that happened a couple of years ago that one of us may have witnessed. And that's all they were here for. They didn't try anything untoward, didn't try to twist anything, so I was happy to let it go on. But I did get a chance to ask the male one of the pair about the situation in the channel. We know the NCA are involved, you know, they're looking into the traffickers, and both here and on the continent, obviously, they liaise with their counterparts over there and probably Interpol as well. But he soon clammed up when he realised that I knew quite a bit about it. And what I knew was fact. It's been proven. You know, and I asked about why there were so many young, fit men coming across. They look like an army. How many of them are from Albania, and that some of them are armed when they're initially picked up. And how many cover-ups there are going on over it all, and how public information that should be made available to us isn't, even through freedom of information requests. Most of those are being turned down now from the Home Office. And I was telling him the truth. He didn't like it. He didn't like it one bit. But I had to do it. I do have audio of the interview, but as it's an ongoing investigation, until I hear it's completed or we hear something back from them, obviously that isn't going to get played. And I wouldn't play anything relevant to the investigation anyway, but in fairness to them, I don't want to get into trouble with them, obviously. So at the moment, I'm going to sit on that. It was recorded covertly, which in my own home I'm allowed to do. But yeah, he didn't like it. But if you want to follow, or you want to know literally daily updates and information on what's going on down in Dover and around the surrounding areas, there's a link below to TW Media. Now, she is constantly filming, constantly putting out reports on this, and it's well worth dropping in. Usually a daily live from her as well, from the scene. And you've got then also Steve Laws and Liam T. They both cover from Folkestone all along the beaches there, as they live local to the area. I haven't as yet put any links in for them, but at some point I will do. But go and check them out as well. But they are still coming in record numbers. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, these people are taking food away from our kids. They're taking housing away from everybody. They're actually asking council tenants to give up their bigger properties to house these people. And now, as I said at the beginning, I haven't put out a lot of foreign news lately. So just a quick catch up. China is screwed. Their economy is in collapse, basically. So they're screwed. Trudeau in Canada, the little dictator over there, well, he's being called out now as many of the things he done through the alleged pandemic and the truckers, convoys and everything over there. He's being called out as most of those were put in place. The enforcement rules were illegal. And apparently there's still a war going on between Ukraine and Russia. Well, it's not between Ukraine and Russia. It's between Russia and the rest of the world. Because the rest of the world is back in the Ukraine. Why? I don't know. That's my opinion. All I see is a B-list celeb, always in the news, begging for money. But we don't see him spending any of this money. And with that, I'm talking about Zelensky. Most countries are supporting him, including the UK, which I don't agree with, because that is money that is better spent in our country, getting us out of this crisis and the shit we're in here. I wouldn't send him a penny, to be obvious. Anybody that supports that over their own people, they're wrong, as far as I'm concerned. Don't try and sort other people's countries out before you sort your own out, is what I say on that. No, I did put out a bit the other day about the energy crisis, and that we can expect power cuts, blackouts, no gas for heating, etc. And they are trialling this. They're looking into models. Well, we all know where the bloody models the government used got us, didn't we, over the last 2 years? Every single one of them was wrong, and they even had to backtrack and admit it, that they got the modelling wrong. So, energy companies, quit with your modelling. But what I'd like to point out through this is there are many ways that people are going to be using to heat their homes, to cook food. Now, I'd like to give a warning, because many of these ways of doing it, I'm not going to point out which ones, but many of them can be dangerous. And I mean fatally dangerous. One, for instance, is the tea candles, the little candles with the flower pots. Now, when them flower pots get to a certain temperature, they will explode and they go off like shrapnel. you got the risk of fires where other people are using different sources of heating, whether it be portable gas stoves, whatever. Again, indoors, these things can be lethal. And with a 10% excess mortality rate in this country at the moment, above what would be the norm, and we all know what's causing that. Not just down to certain procedures, but waiting lists where people can't get seen or treatment. This all adds to that excess mortality rate, and it's going to continue to climb, especially as the winter comes on. But please, people, if you are using alternative sources, as I say, for heating, cooking, be aware that these things are dangerous. If done right, they're cool, but some of them are dangerous. And as we basically got no emergency services now, we don't want those sort of accidents happen. But I think there will be a big rise over the winter in things like household fires and stuff like that. So just be aware of that, people, please. But I'll leave it there. Welcome to the new subs. Hope you enjoy what I do. As I always say, I'm honest, I'm not for everybody, but it would be nice if you hung around. And until the next one, people, as always, my respects to each and every one of you. And thank you for your continued support. Now let's see if we can get this right today. As always, stay safe, stay strong, stay free from the fear. I'm gone, guys.